Well, the Marlins get a much-needed sweep on a very special day. The Marlins take down the Washington Nationals by a score of 6-2, and I believe this is their 8th win of the season against the division rival Nationals. So, what's up, everybody? Justin Perez back again from the Sunshine Sports Podcast with another Marlins recap. And the Marlins took care of business this weekend for sure. So they, off the heels of an ugly experience, an ugly sweep, they were able to take care of business at home, in front of the fans, start the whole weekend. Exciting win on Friday with the walk-off from Xavier. Then he got the win yesterday, and then the one today. A 6-2 win, like I said, over the Nationals to clinch a sweep. And what is really there to talk about today? Well, the offense, you could say was a bit of a mixed bag for sure. Only 8 hits, but like I said, the Marlins were able to score 6 runs. Joe Mack and Xavier Edwards being the leading offensive catalyst for today, as they were able to drive in 2 runs each, and Joe Mack especially being the more interesting subject in this game, as he didn't even start. He was a pinch hitter, as Brian Navarreto received the start to catch behind the plate today. So cool to see those guys get a couple of RBIs. I've spoken about it before several times over the last week or so. Joe Mack not getting many hits, Joe Mack not being able to get on base, being able to stay consistent at the plate like he was when he first got called up. So it was nice to see him come through today, get him a couple of RBIs, a hit, and also Edwards as well, because obviously he's seen a dip in his production ever since the All-Star break started coming around. So it's nice to see him drive home 2 runs and become, like I said, one of the main focal points offensively today for the Marlins. What else is there really to talk about today? Like I said, there's really not much to discuss because, well, this game, just like a lot of our other wins, boring wins with no home runs today either, so nothing to talk about there. But yeah, just other than that, I did see Esteody Ruiz. He had an awful day today, going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and he also ended up, I forgot what inning it was, but he misplayed a fly ball to right field. An easy out could have been put out, but instead he started pedaling back and then sprinted towards the ball too late. Ended up having to play the ball on the hop, which ended up prolonging that inning. It was one of the later innings. I forgot what inning it was. I believe it was the 6th or the 7th. I could be wrong. But either way, just a really rough game from Esteody Ruiz today. Who else? Jacob Marcy was able to get a hit and an RBI in this game. Lopez also did a good job. For the second game in a row, the Marlins offense came out firing. Just like yesterday, the Marlins came out, struck first blood in the first inning, didn't waste any time, but they certainly waited to get more runs going. Luckily, we did have those 2 spots in the 5th and 6th inning that ended up giving us some momentum. We didn't really end up facing a lot of danger today. The Nationals, a depleted team. They're down and out right now, so it's good to take advantage of these games, and it's always good to take advantage of playing opponents who are not on their A game, and certainly opponents who are not making the postseason. So good job by the guys today. Lopez had a big hit, an RBI. And yeah, there's, like I said, not much to go off of offensively. Pitching-wise, Janson Junk ended up getting the start, and he was okay. He was fine. Just a typical Janson Junk start, nothing special, nothing amazing, but not horrible either. He did fail to get through the 5th inning as he allowed runners on first and second. I believe he ended up hitting both. He ended up hitting a couple of batters in that inning, which put them on base. So, Janson Junk, a rough finish to what is, in all reality, an okay start. Not bad, only 2 hits, just 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. You're getting exactly what you're asking for. It's that simple. This is what Janson Junk's going to give you, and you ended up winning a game. He gave you a chance to win the game. He stood his ground, and luckily when he needed to get pulled out, the bullpen ended up picking up the slack and finishing the job. Shout out to Michael Petersen. He only ended up getting 1/3 of an inning, but that was the most That right there, just another bases loaded jam that Petersen gets out of, similar to the Mets game back in Citi Field when we played them the second time around in Queens. So it was nice. Obviously, he came on to try to save Janson Junk from the traffic that he put on base in the fifth inning there, and was able to get out of the bases loaded jam. So obviously a game-changing moment there for Michael Petersen, who because of that gets the win. So he's now 3-3 on the season. We also saw Calvin Fauché pitch a solid inning in the sixth. But the big story pitching-wise today, Jack Ralston. Jack Ralston getting his Major League Baseball debut today. He pitched 2 innings, recorded 2 strikeouts, a couple of groundouts, a flyout. He was great. Allowed 2 hits in that 8th inning, if I'm not mistaken. But he was awesome, man. Obviously, today, John King got DFA'd. Somewhat of a surprise, especially on my end. But obviously, John King just, ever since he came back from his injury, really hasn't been as good as he was in the first half of the season. I believe he had an ERA over 9 since coming back from injury. So, yeah, I mean, he got DFA'd. I would have liked for him to stay, to see if he could at least find some mojo again. But unfortunately, he's not here. But you understand the move. You understand the decision. And to be honest with you, I don't mind one of our prospects coming up from the system and getting, a Major League debut, especially one of our pitchers, and certainly Jack Ralston ended up coming up, and he had a tremendous outing today. So shout out Jacob, oh my God, I almost said Jacob Marcy for some reason. Shout out to Jack Ralston. I apologize for that. Jack Ralston, a former 7th round pick of the Cardinals back in 2019, similar to Sandy. How Sandy, I believe he was a St. Louis Cardinals draft pick before coming over to the Marlins somehow, some way. He's had a good year in AAA this season at Jacksonville, so he was definitely on the bubble to be one of the call-ups from the pitching staff, from the minor leagues this season, and now ended up coming to fruition. And solid stuff, man. I like what we saw from Jack Ralston today. Just awesome stuff. So shout out to Jack Ralston. What else? Finally, Pete Fairbanks. It was a non-save situation. Completed the 9th inning, but I think it's safe to say that Pete Fairbanks is reverting back to his old form, which is not good, because obviously he blew the save on Friday night against Washington in the first game, and then now he comes in and let me see his pitch count, but he ended up having trouble once again in that 9th inning, allowing men on first and second. Just, again, I said it in yesterday's recap, talking about Fairbanks for that brief moment. I said that this is who he is, this is the year that he's having, and despite him having a hot streak, keep your expectations at a minimum, and I stand corrected again, as he comes in and doesn't allow a run, but he definitely had some issues. He had his struggles again, not being able to get guys out, falling into quick, deficits in the pitch count, facing tough moments. I did not like what I saw from Pete Fairbanks at all today. I didn't. 20 pitches for Pete in that 9th inning. Again, you want your closer to go out there, get a quick 1, 2, 3 inning, especially against a team that's not very good and a team that's depleted like the Nationals, but in Pete Fairbanks fashion, cannot do it. Like I said, still gets the 9th inning, still gets out of it unscathed and seals the deal, but the fact that you need 20 pitches against a batting order without C.J. Abrams, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a major issue, and they also, again, no Abrams, no James Wood, so the fact that you're struggling again against a depleted batting order without their 2 best guys, that's a problem, and that doesn't do anything to dispel the notions that Pete Fairbanks is not that good. So I guess whatever Pete Fairbanks, he gets out of it, but certainly his hot streak has come to an end. So what else is there? Oh yeah, so again, not much to talk about in this game, in the 6-2 win, but I think the biggest story of the game has nothing to do with the players on the field, but more so the color commentator in the booth today. Tommy Hutton was honored today at the ballpark, as obviously as anybody who has not been living under a rock, knows that this year is Tommy Hutton's last in baseball broadcasting, and I wanted to end off this recap by talking about him because I don't think that we as Marlin fans would have enjoyed all these years as we have watching games on TV if it wasn't for Tommy Hutton. Without a shadow of a doubt, the voice of this franchise, certainly the guy that all generations of Marlins fans can appreciate, and those who want to get into the broadcasting game can certainly look up to him as a great role model. I know for me, as somebody who graduated with a degree in sports communication, who's looking to get into sports media, he definitely deserves his flowers as one of the best broadcasters and personalities that the game of baseball has to offer. He's certainly been one of my favorite broadcasters in all of South Florida sports. He's right up there with Steve Goldstein, the play-by-play broadcaster of the Florida Panthers, Eric Reed, the play-by-play broadcaster of the Miami Heat. We've had a lot of good broadcasters here in South Florida, college sports, pro sports. We've had a lot of great guys who have done a great job, an admirable job, giving a lot of us fans great memories. But Tommy Hutton, without a shadow of a doubt, is one of the best guys to do it. Certainly, he's on par, in my opinion, with Jim Mandich. If you're talking about great color commentators, obviously Jim Mandich doing the Dolphin stuff for a long time, and both have really bombastic and colorful personalities. And I'm definitely going to miss Tommy Hutton, for sure. I'm definitely going to miss him as a Marlins fan and as a Miami sports fan in general. He's been great for us and very, very entertaining. And I know that, one of the things that I appreciate with him is that he always told it like it is. He was never afraid to give his opinion, and he always kept it professional, but his rants were awesome, man. Whenever the Marlins screwed up, whenever a player made a costly mistake, he was always one of the first guys on the dude before any of the fans could get on him. Tommy got on the guy faster than anyone else. So, he's great. Very, very nice guy. I've never met him personally, but you could just tell the type of person that he is. He has a great, loving family. Great granddaughters. We saw them today on the broadcast. Saw his sons there in the suite. So it was cool. Obviously, he threw out the first pitch or caught it, whatever it was. So it was nice to see a moment for him. The players, Clayton McCullough in the dugout, tipping the cap to him. The fans in the ballpark, once again, great atmosphere for a non-sellout crowd, a great atmosphere, and they all did a great job in giving Tommy Hutton his flowers, the players, the coaching staff, the fans, everybody involved. Kyle Seeloff giving him his flowers. There was a lot of former Marlins and former baseball players who ended up getting like little snippets on the broadcast. Josh Beckett, the former Marlins pitcher, wishing him luck in retirement. The amazing Kevin Millar, former Marlin, former Red Sox, doing the same. Dan Uggla, of course. Obviously, when you think of Tommy Hutton, one of the first things that comes to mind is the Dan Uggla call. His name is Dan Uggla. So it was cool. It was really nice. You saw some of the guys from the Phillies as well, because obviously Tommy Hutton has relationship with the Phillies. So you saw Don Mattingly wish him well in retirement. The Phillies PA announcer, the same. Kelly Sacco giving him love. Everybody that's surrounded with the game of baseball that had the opportunity to give him that, to give him love, certainly did it. Jeff Conine as well gave him love. Just a wonderful, wonderful human being and a tremendous, talented broadcaster who, you could tell that he did not view this as a job. He viewed it as just his love, his passion, and this was something that he took a lot of pride in. And you could tell that he just loved coming to the ballpark every day and providing consistent, efficient analysis for us Marlins fans. Not just for us Marlins fans, but for everywhere he worked. I know he had a stint on MLB Network before. He did some national TV work, I believe, for Fox, if I'm not mistaken. So, just a tremendous, admirable, decorated career from one of the best, and he's certainly one of my all-time favorite sports announcers. I'm going to miss Tommy Hutton, and I know I can speak for all of Marlins fans. For every Marlins fan, I know I could speak for them when I say that we're definitely going to miss Tommy Hutton, and things will definitely never be the same without him on the broadcast booth. Just a tremendous individual. And yeah, he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed, and just, for all Marlins fans listening to this, enjoy him while you can. Only 1 full month left in the regular season. Enjoy him while you can, because after that, that's it. He's done, and he's gonna walk off into the sunset and hopefully have a great and peaceful retirement. So, amazing stuff. Tommy, I love Tommy. Love you, Tommy, and I wish you nothing but the best in retirement. So, just a great day, an emotional day, and one that I think all Marlins fans and everybody involved with the Marlins will not soon forget. So, that's gonna do it today, guys. I apologize if there's a little bit of background noise. Some neighbors of mine playing music, obviously outside once again, enjoying the outdoors while we can, because for those of you who know me well, I live in New Jersey, and of course we do not get this weather very much, so just enjoying the warm, cool weather in the backyard while I can, enjoying some Marlins baseball, enjoying the last days of summer. So that's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Kind of went on a little bit longer than I wanted this to, but of course I had to give my appreciation and my flowers for the great Tommy Hutton. So that's going to be it, guys. Once again, the Marlins win 6-2. If you like what you see, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fancy stuff. Subscribe for sure. We're trying to build something special here at the Sunshine Sports Podcast on YouTube with Colin and I. And yeah, that's going to be it. So we'll catch you on the flip side. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Take care, and let's go Marlins. We will see you tomorrow as the Fish begin a 3-game set against the Boston Red Sox. Take care, everybody.